Thank you. How are you?
Good.
You good?
How are you?
How's work?
All good, always.
Yeah, all good, yeah.
Know where to go.
You good? Yeah, what are you doing there? Do some fucking work. Simon, how are you, brother? Found a cure for AIDS yet? Do you know? No. Hello, mate. How are you? Good? Ooh, what are you looking at? Was that just Ted Bundy? Was that Ted Bundy? Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a sicko on our midst. He's looking at fucking Ted Bundy. Pissed, huh? Seriously. Yeah. Washing my hands, as you can see.
And then he goes to the press conference after the match with Rafa and...
Hey boys, sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late, boys.
Once
Been shoot a few hoops. How are you, mate? Good to see you, mate.
Brian?
Very European, that's what we do.
Very European. Everything okay with you, Brian?
Yeah. Just, no, it's all good. Let's get. I've got to go to Wyong, so hurry up, boys. I've got
Okay.
a lunch.
Hello everyone, welcome along to another edition of At Odds, all thanks to unibet.com.au. All of the best odds and specials on the website unibet.com.au. Brian Fletcher, Mark Waugh, Shane Hill are the superstars of the show. Okay, let's talk about what's happening in the other parts of the sporting world. And we kick it off with the Cricket World Cup just down the road from Wimbledon. Junior, we had a little bit of an incident with the Kiwi game last night, or the most recent game, because it's going to carry on into the second day.
Yep, there's a reserve day in the semis and the final, which is great to see. A lot of rain forecast, so India will probably go through there, but New Zealand are a chance. But the big game is Thursday. Australia v England at Edgbaston. The weather's forecast pretty good. We've had a few injury problems.
What about
Kawaja.
that? They're knocking blokes off.
We're knocking each other off in the nets, breaking arms.
Glad you said nets.
We got him again, or what? We got him? We got him?
I think we got him, yeah. Look,
I didn't hear this thing around my head. I can't really hear.
sorry, I know
Just tell me
you got
on
issues,
that,
mate.
if someone drops a short one when you're batting, do you get the dirts with
I
them, or
used-
is it all fair and love
I
and
used
war?
to hate getting bowl bounces in the nets because there's no sight screen. The bowlers bowl about this far over the front line.
So there's no balls.
Yeah, and the pitches sometimes only go halfway. You know, it's not a full pitch sometimes, so it's difficult. If a bloke bowled me a bounce on that, I'd nearly walk out.
You'd
What's the
handle
point?
it. I could imagine you cracking
Oh,
up.
he wouldn't-
Could you
wouldn't
imagine
you?
how
What do you
filthy
want
he
to knock
would
your own
be?
players out
He
for?
would be filthy.
Have you ever had a blue with a teammate, like a proper one, other than your brother?
No, I've never had a fight, no.
Like a punch up?
No, never.
Never.
No.
Has
Even as a
anyone
kid?
ever tried to knock your block off in the nets like a little net bowler under 18
Oh, yeah.
kid?
Who's the worst?
The worst in the nets was Brett Lee. 'cause
Cracker
he was
Holdsworth.
bloody quick, and he used to bowl from this side of the table to that side over the front line.
Yeah.
So you're just happy to defend the ball.
6 and
So
out.
anyway,
Okay, back to the cricket.
Yeah.
Who comes in? Hanscom
well,
for Kawaja, Matthew Wade
read
comes
that,
in?
I read that Hanscom is coming in for Kawaja. Now, I would actually put Matthew Wade in for Kawaja.
Me too.
I think
It's off
Hanscom's...
the back of a couple of tons, isn't
Yeah,
it?
he's batting out of his skin, they say, on the A tour. So I would have put him in, but I think Hanscom's a bit of a safer bet. But to me, I don't think he handles the quick bowling that well, and you've got Archer and Wood who are going to pepper him. So I would have brought Wade in. But Wade still may come in for Glenn Maxwell. I hope he doesn't. I think they've got to keep Maxwell in the side. So, you know, we're slightly weaker, but I think we're good enough to beat the Poms.
You think we can win and it'll be us v India in the final is your prediction?
Well, that's my prediction. We're third favourite at the moment, basically in a 3-horse race, forgetting New Zealand, and I think that's good value. So I think we can win it. We don't have to play well.
Okay, big weekend of rugby league off the
Fair
back
enough.
of Origin number
Top of my
3,
head.
of course. Cameron
Top of my
Smith,
head.
400 games. There's a couple of other players playing 300, Benji and one other, Gavin Cooper.
Yeah.
So well done to all concerned. Fletch, what's your highlight post-Origin about this one? Or is it a case of sit back and wait to see who backs up?
Well, I think the highlight's going to be Cameron Smith, first of all. 400 games. We haven't seen it before. I don't think we'll ever see it
How many did you play?
again. I played 188. Yeah.
Could you,
For 8 clubs.
Yeah.
and how many
2
years was that?
Clubs.
That was, so back in the old days, that was 2009 years.
Yeah.
9 years.
So that's
I suppose Smithy's
almost
biggest...
impossible now, isn't it?
Well,
20-year
what
career.
he's done, and he plays 80 minutes every game. Like, he doesn't get a rest.
And he's not even talking about retiring at the
No,
end of this
I
year.
think he's talking about going again.
Wow.
How does he not get injured?
Well, it's just the way he is. Like, he's not the strongest man.
Core strength must
Yeah.
be like
Basically, he doesn't do weight. He does weights, but he's not a big gym junkie, so to speak.
Not
He's
am I.
just the perfect. He's just got the brains. He knows when to conserve
Same as
energy.
me. It's
Yeah.
like mirroring.
But you watch him when he'll absorb a tackle and then he'll just wrestle him to the ground. So I suppose having that Melbourne
and he
wrestling,
doesn't run hard at the tackle. He sort of almost...
Well, he gets off the line quick, but he'll get his speed up just to stop their momentum. Then hold him, wait for his mate to come in, and then just go down. But I thought Andrew Johns was the best player I've ever seen. But I think Cameron Smith.
What's going on with the Sharks?
Can they
against the
win
Storm?
then against the Sharks? They're a monumental team. They win for bigger
Milestone games. They do it. They
yeah.
do it very well. Yeah, I think
$1.32 Sharks.
What is happening to the Sharks?
Sharks were dreadful last week. They've got to make a decision with Johnson, because Johnson last week he got hooked.
He's 800,000. They've got no decision.
Well, they've got Kyle Flanagan. No, I'm just saying whether they use Kyle Flanagan.
Well, they need to kick it, don't they?
Kyle Flanagan doesn't miss. Sharks were dreadful last week.
They're one of those teams, though, the Sharks, aren't they? The games they're expected to win, sometimes they don't give everything they've got, and then they can pipe up in this sort of game.
Yeah, well, it's their senior players that have come back from injury, Woods and Johnson, who have been terrible.
Okay, the first game of the weekend, Rabbitohs Eagles. I suppose you sit there and look at the Eagles and say, Daly, Cherry Evans, the Trebojevic brothers. If they happen to back up, great. If they don't, well, they're no chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we're going to have to wait and see. And this is the problem with the Origin games. You know, you've got to wait to see who backs up. Sam Burgess is back. Look, if those three come back, I still think the Eagles are a chance. But the Bunnies, it's 4 in a row for them losing. So Sammy Burgess back in the team. They've got to get their run. They've got to get back on the horse.
A couple of other games that have interest over the weekend. Tigers and the Eels. Tigers 2.14 can always lose a game that they look like winning. Eels $1.71. That one's played at Bank West. And Dragons and Raiders will be interesting as well. AFL Hammer, your mob Geelong have stumbled over the last couple of weeks. Losses to Port Adelaide, losses to the Western Bulldogs. Both games they should have won.
Something wrong with
as the Fools continue to play over in the corner.
The kids are naughty boys.
There's something wrong with this bloke.
Collingwood also have stumbled the last couple of weeks, which means West Coast have now emerged as potentially the favourites to win the comp.
Yeah, I mean, they're tough, West Coast, aren't they? Particularly at home, but there's no way they should be favourites over Geelong. And there's no doubt when you're 2 or 3 games clear that you do take your foot off the accelerator. But the Western Bulldogs were really good against the Cats. They're a tough team. They're really young, tackle hard, play well. So I'm not worried about the Cats, but I was disappointed because I had a couple of multis that they were in.
We all did. West Coast, though, $1.38 at home, 3.05. I think the favourite term about the West Coast is that they're defending premiers, or the premiers, and they get those home finals if they can secure a top 2 spot.
Yeah, and they've got the depth to be able to beat a team like Collingwood convincingly. The only thing that you throw up is that Collingwood do travel well, and they've got their backs to the walls. The Melbourne media, they get all over them, and so they become a little bit dangerous, but they're going to have to turn their form around. I called them Cats on the show last week, done $1.40 against Hawthorn, didn't win. So they'd have to really turn things around against West Coast.
Essendon, North Melbourne. Essendon are the darlings at the moment. They're getting the good rub of the green from the umpies. They were plus 20 in free kicks against my boys last week, which was very disappointing. North Melbourne 2.02. On a roll with Reece Shaw at the helm.
They're looking good and playing confident as well, enjoying that change of coaching style. And sometimes when you get back to basics, it makes it easier. But I think this game's like a flip of the coin. There's no way I could take Essendon at $1.80. I think $1.90, take your pick. I think it'll be a close one. Really interesting game. And Richmond, $1.47, the Giants. They get Cornelio, I think, will play, and they get Whitfield back. They will miss Kelly for 3 weeks. Mumford's a plus, $2.70. I think if they can get off to a decent start, the Giants, they're a chance, but it all depends on that first quarter. Yeah, they haven't been playing great football and haven't been putting a lot of points on the board. Richmond playing with a whole lot of confidence after a big win last week as well. I'd be taking Richmond 1-39. I don't think GWS will get blown out, but I'm pretty confident Richmond will get it done. Russ, can I ask you a question? When are they going to make a decision on the coach at North Melbourne? Do they wait until the end of the year?
He's 4 from 5, so you don't make a decision on an interim when he's won 4 out of his last 5. You don't put him out of the mix. And John Longmire's been courted, but the Swans only have to flick the switch and pay what he's asking, and that deal's done. So I suspect that they're going to wait for a little bit longer to see whether it's more than just a
flush in the pan.
Plus, why would you sign an interim coach when you've got an opportunity to try and sign great coaches?
He might, because he'll be there. But he might turn into a great coach.
No, he might, but he'll still be there to negotiate if they can't get one of the greats. So no one else will pinch him?
No. Because if this was league, the Titans would be all over him.
No.
He won't get another job.
There's not that.
Titans will be all over him.
There's not that opportunity. You wouldn't go from that to another senior coach. You'd roll into that one.
Okay.
We've got to talk Wimbledon, of course. The big three are into the semi-finals. Djokovic now $1.70. He's got Bautista in his semi-final. Of course, Roger and Rafa take on each other in the other one. And the women's, it looks like a match in 2. Serena Williams and Simona Halep around about the 270 each of 2. But Lena Svitolina. Has to be said.
How excited are you, Russ?
$101. We threw her out. I mean, that's a bit of a jag. You've got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
We'll
All
give you
form,
credit.
was it?
You need help.
She's into the last 4. It was, look, honesty, she was the first player I saw on court. And as you know, the first jockey you see, you follow him in.
That's right.
I saw her play Daria Gavrilova. She beat her, and I thought, why not? And she was $101, and she's now $8. So I hope you got on. Wimbledon continues. I do think, though, Djokovic at $1.70 is short, but he does get a free kick into the final by playing the other Spaniard. Wait and see. Any thoughts on that one, boys?
No, not really.
Clearly
no. No. We haven't got any thoughts, have we?
No.
All about doing research. They've done
Well, you've been over there. You've been over to Wimbledon. We've been stuck here.
I don't think that was on our run sheet either.
No,
I just threw that in.
made stuff up.
That'll do it for this. Don't forget the footy fill-ups. AFL last week, Hawthorn won. This week it's Essendon even money, which is terrific value if you like the Bombers to beat North Melbourne. Footy fill-ups have been on fire. And the Rugby League special, it's a Roosters home game. Unibet sponsor the Roosters. $10 about the Wingers scoring in that game this weekend. So
Why don't we
plenty
do
to look
$10 for the hookers to score? Why don't we do that?
Another one from Brian.
Coming out of dummy half, Jake Friend.
Unibet.com.au. Welcome back. This is At Odds, all thanks to unibet.com.au. Brian Fletcher, Mark Waugh, Shane Hill, I'm Russell Barwick. Let's have a look at what happened last week. Don't have the glasses with me for the moment, but can you just read that line there,
I
please?
can, mate. Team made 1,075.
Nice work, boys.
Teamwork,
Well done.
14,240.
Everyone just
Good
chipped
job,
in a little
boys.
bit.
Well
Give
done.
Russ a trophy.
It's all
First
about
time
the
this
team.
season.
The line above
There
it,
you go.
Russ had the perfect week. I found my glasses. Russ had the perfect week. 2 out of 2. I don't think that's been done
It's
all
got the
year.
training wheels off. Well
I've
done,
done it,
Russ. That's
thank you.
good.
So it's been done once before
So
in the
twice,
history
yes.
of this show.
Well done, Russ.
Down the bottom, though, the little man's there on 2,075.
No, you're second last now, mate.
They call you the little man behind your back.
He's not little. He's a big fella.
I got them
He's
covered.
big
know.
chest. Look at him.
Yeah, but you still call him that.
Never. You're on your own,
Brian,
buddy.
don't lie about
Mate,
that.
I never talk.
Time for our bets this week. Let's have a look at the slam dunk, the Hail Mary.
Yep.
You take it first there, Bwine.
Okay, I'm going all NRL. Panthers -6.5 against the Titans. Roosters to beat the Cowboys, and the Storm on Smithy's 400th to beat the Sharks. $3.20.
You love the
$3.20?
Roosters and the Storm, don't you?
I know.
Every week.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, look
And
what
you
it's
go
cooking.
racing every week.
Well, someone's got to. It's a racing show. I'm going out wide for my slam dunk. I'm going to Scone on Friday.
Oh, pens at the ready.
A horse called Mo the Great, race 2, trained by my wife and part owned by myself.
Named after Greg Matthews.
Mo the Great. No, it's not. It will win on Friday. We're going to take it into Rosehill Race 5 on Saturday. Deity a Place, the Godolphin horse which I had last
Approximate
week.
odds. Approximate odds.
What price is your thing on Friday?
Well, I think it'll be even money.
Okay.
I
$1.60
hope
now.
it's even money.
So that's the week.
$1.60 now after
That's
that
the
tip.
weekend fill-up. Mo the Great on
Probably
Friday.
won't be, but
Hammer?
All right, West Coast far too strong for Collingwood out west. Sydney, they will crush Carlton, no doubt about that. And I'm staying with the Cats. The mighty Cats will bounce back this week.
Wow.
24 plus against the Saints because they're no good.
I'm going to stick thick with Wimbledon and go with Djokovic and Halep to win the singles titles. At the moment, it's around $5 boosted, thanks to unibet.com.au. Now, Mark Schwarzer, been on fire, managed to jag, I think, Peru to beat Chile last week in the something
Somewhere.
cup over in...
Cup of coffee cup.
Mate, that's not that hard.
The cup
Oh,
of
try
coffee
this
cup.
one.
It's in Peru.
Africa Cup of Nations, Tunisia to beat Madagascar, Europa League, Bran to beat Shamrock Rovers,
Morals, brand,
Cork City to beat Progress.
Come on, Cork.
easy.
And in the Major League Soccer in the US, DC to beat New England. All of that's probably $1 million to 1, about $10.
Mate, you should
Bet
get a
on that.
prize if you can just multi all that together and find them.
That's 8 different countries.
Hail Mary, Fletch.
Okay, NRL again. Tigers to beat the Eels, Dragons to beat the Raiders, and the Roosters to beat the Cowboys 13 plus. Approximate odds $9.
Okay, very good. I'm going cricket, and I'm going to back the Aussies to win the tournament. So they're around the $4 mark at the moment. That could be boosted to about $8. No, probably about $5. But I think in a 3-horse race,
Good value.
You know,
I've got to
I think
agree.
they can win it. So let's cheer the Aussies on to win the tournament.
Let's just
Got to
get
get past England.
Gotta
in the
get
semis,
past England.
But we get past them, we're in.
Hammer.
All right, I've got 3 teams that I think will all win in the AFL, but not by a big margin. So they're all 1 to 39. Richmond too strong for GWS. Western Bulldogs, who played really well last week to beat Melbourne, and then also Port Adelaide at home, only because they're at home, against Brisbane. We'll get about $10 for that.
I'm on the same scenario. I'm backing 3 teams to win 25 plus. West Coast, Sydney and Hawthorn all in the AFL. I think they've got relatively good games. That one works out about the same, about double figure odds, $10. And Mark Schwarzer, well, this is
going to a
lot
different
simpler.
country again.
Going to a different country, South Africa, to beat Nigeria in the Africa Cup of Nations.
So hang on, his slam dunk is bigger odds than his Hail Mary.
Yeah.
What's he on?
He hasn't quite worked it out yet, has Mark. Anyway, he's
Scar's
on,
too tight.
Or was that
I've done
Unibet
that.
Pete?
I've done
Did
that.
Unibet Pete do that?
Is that you, Unibet Pete?
he is on top of the ladder. Other than the obvious, anything you're particularly looking forward to this weekend?
No netball. School holidays.
Yes.
Thank the Lord.
And are you going up to Scone on
Contact.
Friday, Junior?
I might, yeah.
Oh,
Might take a
if
little
that's-
bag up there.
If that's not a heads up to make
like
your way
Scone.
and get into Scone race 2,
Those two, number 2.
Mo the Great. If it
Jump
wins, yeehaw. Hammer, what do you
I'm
reckon?
looking forward to someone else on the panel winning and not you.
He's only won it once.
That's what I mean.
Here
I'm
we
looking
go.
back to the
Harsh
norm.
but fair.
I'm with you.
Anyway,
Say that again. Just say that again. This is on Fletchy Vision. Say that
You
again.
got it. I want anyone to win but
Fletch.
Russ.
Russ?
The little man.
Brian Cam. That'll do it for this week. Don't forget, footy fill-ups on the website, of course, and those Roosters special, $10 for the wingers to score this weekend in their NRL match. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you next week for more at odds, thanks to unibet.com.au.